Self-acceptance versus self-improvement. What does that have to do with reinventing yourself? Well, it sounds like you have an either-or situation here, but I'll let you know more in this video. How's it going, Reinventors? I'm Amelia. This is Reinventing You, the channel where you can be inspired to take your own reinventing journey so that you can live a life of joy, fulfillment, and purpose. I post twice a week. I'm glad that you are here. If this is your first time, welcome. And welcome back to all you reinventors and those who are just curious about the reinventing process. If you would like to support me in a way that doesn't cost you anything, please watch the video all the way to the end, and I have some ways that you can help me out. Self-acceptance versus self-improvement. Which one is better? And is self-improvement, reinventing yourself, something that's anti-self-acceptance? I want to explore that further. I've really been thinking about this lately. I have watched some videos and read some articles about just accepting yourself and the fact that trying to make changes in your life sometimes means that you are not accepting who you are. And what is that? I don't know what my cat is doing. And what does that have to do with, trying to improve your life? I mean, can you really be loving yourself and making some changes? Can you really be accepting who you are and reinventing yourself? It seems like, well, which one do I need to be doing? If you clicked on this and trying to figure out your life right now, especially with the pandemic going on and everything, that you're probably like, this is the time where you're just really doing a lot of introspection and thinking, and this is just basically the best time to do that. And I have just really struggled with these ideas because there's something about being your authentic self. There's something about having pride in who you are and loving yourself that I think is so core with who we are. And as a retired pastor, I mean, that's a big thing about loving yourself and loving others and loving God. That's a huge kind of thing that you try to help people accept themselves. It's a healthy thing. But here I am, I'm doing a reinventing channel. I am all about reinventing yourself. I am in the process of reinventing myself. And yes, it is a process. It is a journey. It's not just a stop and go from one place to one dot to the next. And I've been doing this for quite some time. And so I really am struggling with this. So let me just break it down. Self-acceptance for me means 5 major things. Self-love, pride in yourself, contentment in who you are. I guess not in who you are, but contentment in the now, like being present. Finding joy where you are, and accepting all of your quirks. That is, things that you like about yourself, things you don't like about yourself, things that others like about yourself, things that others don't like about yourself. Accepting all of that, the whole package. This is who you are. And for me, that's the idea of self-acceptance. So what about the idea of self-improvement? For me, that involves 5 things. When you are wanting to improve yourself, usually you are unhappy with where you are. You're uncomfortable with who you've become. You want more from life. You're not liking yourself. I didn't say not loving yourself. You're not liking yourself. And you have a desire to change, make some changes in your life. Okay, so here's kind of comparing those 2 things. So the self-love versus not liking yourself. Loving yourself versus not liking yourself. You can love someone and not like them. You can love yourself and yet not like yourself. It's something that is so subtle. It's hard to kind of put into words, but hopefully you know what I mean. There are some things that I love about my family, but there's some things that I don't like about my family. I love my family. I've been blessed with a wonderful family. I have an extended family. I won't go into why. There are some members of my family, actually, I absolutely love them, but they sometimes do some really stupid things. And I don't agree with everything they do. But that never takes away my love for them. And it's the same way with myself. I do some things sometimes that I don't like. I was like, I cannot believe I have done that, or I haven't done that. I don't like the fact that I'm not really good at relationships, like with friends. I don't know how to be with friend or, be a good friend or whatever. So I really struggle with that. I don't like that part about myself. But I still love the fact that I do have friends. I love myself, and I love that I am a person who has a lot to give. I mean, all of those things is about love, not like. Okay, so that's the first part. Having pride in myself, I'm proud of things that I've accomplished. In fact, I'm probably going to do a video soon about kind of like a bucket list kind of video, like things that I'm glad that I've accomplished, I'm proud of in my life that I have done. And in fact, I would love for your input. If you in the comments below would like to share with me something that you've accomplished in your life that you are extremely proud of, that you have done in the past. And it's like one of these kind of obituary, I call them obituary moments, like things that you would really want people to remember you by, that kind of thing, that you feel like nobody else may feel like, but for you it's very significant in your life. If you want to comment below, let me know, because I'm going to be doing a video on that sometime soon. Having pride in those things is really important. However, on the kind of the opposite side of that is, I'm trying to think, a desire to want more, a desire to change, not happy with where you are, where you're kind of that discontentment. And I think that my work, and I call it work, as a pastor is very much like that. There are some things that I am very proud of accomplishing in my 20 years. But then there are some things that I hated about my job, I hated about what I did or didn't do, or didn't do this or do that. I mean, there's always, kind of room for improvement there. But also, it's the idea of I did some really good things. I felt called to do it when I'm there. But when that call kind of changed, when that changed for me, I still, I wanted to do some good things with my life. I still, even though I was proud of my accomplishment, I was ready to move on. I was not content. I was uncomfortable where I was. I needed to do something new. And so kind of that's sort of like that, almost a pendulum effect, oh yeah, I'm proud of this, but I do really want to do that bucket list. I do really want to do all these other things. And I don't know if I'm really making myself clear here, so I feel like really frustrated and kind of rambling. But what I wanted to just let you know that you can be proud of your accomplishments and yet want to do something new, to change. You're uncomfortable where you are. You're not liking things that are happening in the now. And that also brings us to the idea of contentment in the now, being in the moment. Sometimes you get to a certain point in your life and you say, is this all there is? And that is exactly why or how I felt. That is one of my top 5 reasons for reinventing myself. And is this all there is? And part of it was sort of a comparison to other people, but part of it was like, can't I do more? Am I not capable of more? So that's kind of where changing yourself and doing something to improve yourself comes in. Reinventing yourself comes in. One of the things that I say that this channel is all about is inspiring you to live a life so that you can find joy, fulfillment, and purpose. But when you're loving yourself, you find yourself finding joy in where you are right there. And that's great. But the long-term joy, the long-term contentment, how is that going for you? And you can only keep that up for so long before you just kind of lose hope. You're like, okay, I don't know if I can still be grateful for these things. I don't know if I can still find joy in these things, because it just seems like it's not enough. There's something else out there. And I think that when you feel like you need to change yourself, when you need to reinvent yourself, that is what's going on. And you want to create the situation where you're going to find that joy, and it's not finding that joy, it's just there. Self-love involves, and self-acceptance involves, kind of, accepting all your quirks, all the things that is quirky about you. And for me, that's very important. One of the things that I had the image of the perfect pastor was was calm and was a non-anxious presence and could just listen to people. That is not me. I have a very excitable manner. I'm not this calm, cool person. I'm a get it done, let's go, easily irritated, super critical. I've got the loud voice. It's not a good inside voice. Great for speaking, not so great in counseling, I suppose. But one of the things that I have found about myself is that even though I wish I was like those really, laid back, calm, pastoral present people, that is not me. And I have it's taken me over 50 years to really realize that about myself and accept myself. Now, I have gotten some flack about my personality. I can't change that. And I feel like in the way God has made me a certain way, and certainly there are things that I've learned as I've matured to control my temper or control my outburst. I'm not saying that I've done a great job with any of that, but I'm just saying that I was like, that's who I am. That's my personality. And one thing I have to say about reinventing yourself, you are never going to change the core of who you are. You have to accept that. That doesn't mean you can't improve yourself. That doesn't mean you can't learn how to control your temper. That doesn't mean you can't learn how to have an inside voice. Sure, I'm never going to be that quiet, laid back personality, but there are things about my personality that can help me do other things in life. And that's where the improvement, the self-improvement comes about. I truly believe that reinventing yourself is getting you from one place to the other, whether it's self-improvement that will lead to self-acceptance or self-acceptance that will lead to self-improvement. Reinventing yourself involves both of those things. So I really believe it's not an either or a self-love versus self-like or whatever. There's no, you got to choose one. I think that one will lead to the other. But when I say one, I also have to say this. If you're going to reinvent yourself, start with one thing. You do not have to change your life completely, like upend everything in order to reinvent yourself. You can change something about your relationship, your health, your job. I wrote this all down. Your hair, your physical appearance, your spirituality, your routine, your abilities, learn some new skills. All of those things can be reinventing. That's improving yourself, and you can still have that accepting yourself and still be improving yourself. I recently had a person who left a comment on one of my videos that said something about that they had gotten out of a relationship. To me, that's reinventing yourself, getting out of a relationship, and yet found themselves really happy with who they are. They did the one thing, and they found all of these other things in that discovery, in that change they made. They found all the stuff that was there all along, but they didn't realize it was there until they made that one change. And I really feel like reinventing is that way. You can do that one thing, change that one thing in your life, and it really will kind of change your whole perspective and help you to accept yourself and love yourself in ways that you didn't realize you were capable of. I hope that this video has been helpful for you. Thank you for watching all the way to the end. I need your help. It doesn't cost you anything. Like I asked before, if you watch all the way to the end of the video, that helps me. If you like this video, that helps me. If you leave a comment, that helps me. If you subscribe, that really helps me. If you share this video with somebody else, that helps me. And if you, on the end of the screen, you will see these other videos, click on one of those, do the same thing. Watch all the way to the end. Like the video, make a comment. If it's something you've already seen and you're busy doing something else, just leave it running on your phone to the very end and then like it. That's all you have to do. And I know that sounds really crazy, but that helped me more than you know. Thank you so much for your help. See you in the next video. Have a great one.